Hello, this is Sarah Yardley, Executive Managing Editor, here with an instalment of the KGL Peerwise Video Insight series. Today, we're asking 3 questions in 3 minutes to Sara Kate Heukerott, Associate Director of Publications at the Association for Computing Machinery, on evolving AI journal policies. Welcome, Sara Kate.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a delight to be here.
How is ACM approaching the use of AI tools in the peer review and editorial process? And what steps are you taking to ensure transparency for authors and reviewers?
As the world's largest academic society devoted to computing, ACM knew that with the advent of LLMs and other very high-powered AI tools, we would need to act quickly and thoughtfully to update our publications policies, in particular our authorship and peer review policies. And the way that we thought about this, we framed it in terms of principles. What are we trying to achieve? So we thought, what is the best way to enable our community and what we publish to have the greatest impact? And that really framed how we updated our authorship and peer review policies. For authorship, we came down on the side of authors have to be named identifiable human beings who say that they are responsible for the content of the paper. However, we said these tools certainly can be used, but their use when it goes beyond simple grammatical updating, things like that, needs to be declared so that we have that transparency for our readers. On the peer review side, we took a slightly different approach. We said the tools can be used, but they have to maintain the confidentiality of the peer review process. It is confidential that a particular paper by particular authors has been submitted to a particular venue. Also, even more importantly, the contents of that paper is confidential. So we said these tools can be used, but they can't be used in a way where that confidentiality would be breached. So we say use an enterprise version of these systems that, ensures that the material is not stored anywhere, it's not used anywhere for training. And another thing that's really important to mention is that this is evolving. We fully expect that, in a year, 2 years' time, we will be updating these policies regularly as our community tells us how their practices and understanding of best use evolves.
What safeguards has ACM put in place to maintain research integrity and avoid potential risks in peer review?
I come to this question, and ACM comes to this question in terms of the principles of what we're trying to achieve with our publications. And the most important thing is that ACM's digital library, is an incredibly trusted resource in the computer science community and in related communities. And so we want to make sure that when people come to our content, they know that it's reliable, that they can trust, that it's been vetted, that it's material that they can then build on and use and trust. ACM is regularly surveying the industry, keeping ahead of the newest and best tools that are offered. And we are regularly implementing pilots to trial out these various services to see what would be best for our publications. For a large portion of our proceedings program, we're running them through a range of research integrity checks, which include AI detection. And similarly, for other parts of our program where we find a paper where maybe a reviewer says, I think this may have been AI generated and there's no declaration, we then will run it through this system. However, what we've found is that none of these AI detection tools that are available for now are foolproof. We basically go back to the author and then we have a conversation. One thing that we find is that our community is very clever and our community likes to break things. So our community will say, what can I do to push the limits of this tool or what's out there? So whether it's hiding AI prompts in papers or, some other creative, devious thing that I haven't thought about, we're trying to stay abreast of that. But what we have found is the most valuable way to counteract potential research integrity concerns really is the expert review that our editors and our peer reviewers are conducting. And so we pair that with the various tools that we have in place to then ensure that what we're publishing is reliable.
Looking ahead, how does ACM see AI shaping the future of scholarly publishing and peer review? And what opportunities do you find most exciting?
Come to this question from two perspectives. One is we are so incredibly proud of the work that our community does and that we publish at ACM. And we want to ensure that it has the greatest positive impact globally. And we see real opportunities through the use of these tools to enhance that, to increase the accessibility of our content, whether it's through alt text or audio versions of what we're publishing or really high quality translations and things that I'm not even thinking of yet that I think may possibly be developed. And then, this ties in really strongly with ACM's move to open access publication in 2026. We want our community writ large to make the greatest possible use of what we are producing and publishing. The second thing I would mention in this regard is something that ACM thinks about a lot, and that's volunteer fatigue. We recognize that our editors, our reviewers are volunteers. They're doing this because they want to serve the community, but they also have competing demands on their time. So we want to ensure that they can spend their time where they can have the most impact, where their human time makes the greatest impact. And so when I think about things like how can I free up a researcher's time, they don't have to spend hours crafting the perfect sentence necessarily, right? If AI can help them with that, then great. If AI can help us maybe with some of our statistical review or help us, to reduce bias in some ways. AI has bias, humans have bias. It's unclear, which of these is worse, but to have that also as a resource, I think is really, really valuable.
Thank you, Sara Kate, for your insights. Please reach out to us if you would like to learn more.